Let's see a real example of a fast-forward merge. So first, let's look at our log. And by the way, when you're using branches, it's a good idea to always include the graph option. At this point in time, you're not going to see any differences, but as we go forward, you will see that the graph option will give us a better representation of our branches and how they diverge. Of course, I know this command is very long and you're not supposed to write this every single time. That's why we use aliases. But as I told you before, in this course, I'm not going to use aliases because I want anyone to be able to follow this course. So let's look at our log. As you can see, our bug fix branch is one commit ahead of master. Also, as you can see here, we have a linear path. So if you start from bug fix, we can get to master. So master has not diverged from bug fix. That means when we run a merge, Git will fast forward master. Let me show you. So to bring the changes from the bug fix branch into master, first we should be on master. Then we run git merge bugfix / sign up form. I don't know why my autocomplete is not working on this machine. So let's run. Look, we have a fast forward merge and this file is the only file that was changed with 5 changes. Now, let's look at our history one more time. So now both these branches are pointing to the same commit, which is the latest commit over here. And we have a linear history. Now, it is possible to disable a fast forward merge, and this has a number of benefits. So let's create a new bug fix branch, make a new commit to it, and then merge it with master using a no fast forward option. So earlier I told you that to create a branch, we type git branch and then type the branch name. But after this, we have to switch to that branch. So there are 2 steps we have to follow. Now, let me show you a shortcut. We can type git switch -c for create. And with this, we can create and switch to a branch in 1 step. So I'm going to call this branch bugfix / login form. Now we are on this new branch. So let's open our table of content file and add an asterisk here. Save. Back to the terminal. Let's commit the changes. For the commit message, I'm going to say update table of content.txt. Okay, now let's look at our history. So git log 19 all graph. Take a look. So our new branch is 1 commit ahead of master. And by the way, we probably don't need this branch anymore, so we can drop it. But that aside, let's merge our new branch into master using a no fast forward option. So first we have to switch to master, git switch master. Now we run git merge. Now here we have to use the no fast forward option. So no fast forward. Then we type the branch name. So bugfix / login form. So with this, we're telling Git, hey, even if fast forward is possible, don't do it. Create a merge commit that combines all the changes in this target branch and bring them into master. Take a look. So our default editor is opened. Here we have to type a commit message because we're going to have a merge commit, a new commit in the master branch. By default, Git suggests this message, merge branch bugfix / login form into master. Most of the time, the default message is totally fine. So we can close this. Now back to the terminal. We no longer have a fast forward merge. So let's look at our history one more time using the graph option. Let's see what's going on here. So here's our new bugfix branch, which originated from this commit over here. So before we merge this into master, master was pointing to this commit, and this is when we created our new bugfix branch. In this branch, we added a new commit, which was for updating our table of content file. Then we merged this branch into master. So see the graph? This is coming from the graph option. If we don't use the graph option, we'll see everything in a linear way. So our master is pointing to this commit, which is our merge commit, and here's the commit message that you just saw. Now, what is the benefit of this approach? Why should we disable fast forward merges? Well, this is one of those areas that gets a bit controversial. In the Git community, we have 2 groups of people. Some people hate merge commits, and they argue that these merge commits pollute the history. They make it harder to read and understand what's going on, especially as we have more and more branches. These people prefer a linear history. On the other hand, we have another group of people who argue that these merge commits are a true reflection of history, a true reflection of what actually happened when we merged our branches and how they were merged. In my opinion, both these arguments are valid. It's definitely easier to read a linear history, but you should also remember that a linear history is not your true history. It's a lie. Now, that aside, these merge commits have another benefit. They make it easier for us to undo a feature. Let's talk about it using a real example. So here we have two branches, master and feature, and our branches have not diverged. So there is a direct linear path from feature to master, right? So here we can use a fast forward merge. But let's see what happens if we don't use a fast forward merge. We're going to have a merge commit that combines all the changes in the feature branch. So if you have F1 and F2 in the feature branch, this new merge commit combines all the changes in F1 and F2. Now, let's say we work on this feature, and then next day we are told to remove this feature from the code base. We can easily revert the last commit in the master branch. We'll talk about reverting commits in the future when we talk about rewriting history. But basically, by reverting a commit, we create a new commit that is the opposite of that commit. So essentially, it undoes everything that has happened in another commit. So if we use a merge commit, there is a single commit that we have to revert. In contrast, if we use the fast forward option, our master pointer is going to move over here. And now if you want to take out this feature from the code base, we have more commits that we have to revert, and this can get a bit more complex. So once again, both these arguments are valid. It really depends on your team culture and the kind of project you're working on. So I leave it up to you to decide what approach works best for you. Now, where you work, you might have a policy in your company saying no fast forward merges. In that case, you don't want to type git merge no fast forward every time. What if you forget? So let me show you a better way. We can disable fast forward merges for a particular repository or for all of our repositories. So we type git config fast forward no. This will disable fast forward only in the current repository. But if you want this to apply to all of your repositories, of course, you should use the global option here.